Good morning. Today is day 78 of moving mountains beneath my feet. We're 100 days on our journey around the sun. And I have a very, very special guest with me, hiking with me this morning. My favorite person and my coach, Health and High Vibes, Margie, is here with me.
Hello, and it's episode 54.
I forgot that.
Uh-huh.
So,
helping already.
So in doing this, normally I can just hit the record button and be fine. But for some reason, having her with me made me feel like stage fright. I don't know why. I don't know what that is about. But I was talking to her about how when we do, or if you've ever done a live video, that's the worst. You feel like if you press that live button or that record button and go live, it's like your life's gonna end or something. It's so weird. I have no idea why I feel that way. Anyway, I wanted to, because I have her here and her brilliant brain that has helped me to transform how I eat and live my life around food and how to treat my body. It was her a year ago who helped me or showed me that I could eat better and vibrant living foods and still enjoy food. I never in my million years would have ever imagined myself transitioning to a more plant-based kind of living, because I thought that vegans and people who eat plant-based foods are like weirdos who eat rabbit food and there's no enjoyment. And she showed me that was very, very different, and I felt very, very different. And since then I've dropped like 60 pounds, changed my life. I feel better. One of the big things that she helped me with more recently to understand, so I was having a lot of anxiety and emotional issues, and she mentioned that my diet could be a culprit. And for a long time I really didn't put two and two together. When I started this detox, I started really eating clean. I started to notice a difference. And then lately I've been struggling with this detox and kind of letting it go a little bit, not following it exactly as I should. And I've noticed an increase in anxiety. And so I wanted to have her kind of talk about how that could work. I wanted to ask you, what would you say to people who have that kind of issue, or why does that matter so much?
Well, now he put me on the harder part of the hike for my first time, and now he wants me to talk. So here we go. So anxiety gets stored in the body. I think we can all subscribe to that. And as Albert was eating more cleanly, he was removing the trigger foods that could, this is not easy to talk and do this.
No.
He started removing the trigger foods that were going to trigger different reactions in the body. So by giving his digestive system a rest and supporting it with foods that, would make it run more smoothly and gentle.
What are some of those foods?
Well, number one, glucose and plants, which is what our bodies were made to digest. Easy amino acids, simple carbohydrates. So, as now, I just wanted to note what you're feeling now. It's a little more anxiety as you're falling off. Part of it has to do with now you know what it feels like to feel really, really good.
Yeah, true.
Right, so most, I don't want to say most, but many, many people are walking around having no idea how good you can really feel.
This is true.
So you think, this and that is normal. I dealt with lots of stuff I thought was normal. Acne and, a little bit of trouble sleeping, even painful menstrual cycles, all this stuff is deemed normal, and I learned it doesn't have to be. So when you start feeling really, really good, you start feeling a deeper contrast when you start to back out of those habits that brought you there.
That's definitely true. I feel, what I'm learning, we can stop right here real quick. I'm learning that some of these things that I want to eat, or I like eat out of like whatever reason, they're not worth it. Right? It's like, oh, I want this thing, I'm going to try it. And then you like eat it. You're like, hey, I'd feel like shit, and it's really not worth it. Like what I thought would make me feel good or better actually made me feel worse. And so it feels like a slow lesson that I'm learning or needing to learn. Like obviously I had my chicken thing that really made me feel really bad. But I've done other things that it's like, oh, I want to try this. And it was shit. It was absolute shit. I felt like shit. I didn't feel good.
And all that's part of the learning process too, right? It's, when you had the chicken thing, what was my reaction? It's like, it's fine. Now you can see how it made you feel.
Yeah.
And so you can choose whether or not you want to feel that way. Now, I'm not out here saying everybody needs to be vegan, everybody needs to be plant-based, but certainly because I think my most important thing is everyone should be informed. That's it. And then you can choose whatever the heck you want to do with your life. And you don't even have to be full plant-based or vegan to live a healthy lifestyle. But there are certain rules that go along with chemistry and biology of the human body that will or won't support its processes.
So for me, I didn't believe that eating that way would be enjoyable. Like I wanted to enjoy my food, and I didn't realize how much attention and detail and like creative real vegans can be, like in making things that taste really good. And so if that was I was a meat eater. Like, give me a steak.
So was I.
Like, give me that. Like, I just wanted to eat meat all the time. But I find that when I eat meat now, since the last year, it doesn't feel good in my body. I'm not perfect. But the thing about what you said something about when I ate the chicken. Like, I was my story is, my most watched episode, or my most listened to episode is called I Cheated or something. And people listen to it because they think there's some kind of drama. And
Such good clickbait.
I got them. But I cheated on my detox. But the way that you treated me, right? Like I was scared to tell you. So, I didn't want to let you down and like get yelled at. And you didn't yell at me at all. You were just like, it's okay. Maybe you can use that chicken in a salad later. Not knowing that I devoured the whole damn thing in my car.
Leaving bones behind.
Yeah, I left the chicken bone in my fucking passenger seat, and I had a friend find it. It's embarrassing, but funny. But the thing is, like, giving myself permission to like mess up and like learn the lesson was really valuable, and I've kept that lesson, right? So it's like anytime I can walk by just chicken now, no matter how hungry I am, and I'm like,
not today, sir.
Not today, Satan. But now with these other foods, with these other things that I'm doing, I definitely feel the anxiety coming back. Obviously, I have external things causing anxiety, but I think I want to say I had external things going on during.
Sure. Well, what's happening too, our bodies need way more fuel than maybe we think you do. So what's happening too is it's not just the bad foods you're incorporating, it's the good foods that you're edging out for the bad foods. So those good foods that would be in soothing your nervous system and giving you easy digestion are not there to support your body's processes. So you're kind of edging them out with the food you're not supposed to be having, causing you some discomfort. And if anxiety is something you have already, just a little bit of discomfort somewhere in your body could trigger something more, and then it can get bigger from there.
I didn't think about that. That's
Yeah.
interesting. So what are some foods, right? You mentioned glucose and what else? But what are like some easy things people can do who have anxiety maybe that could start trying?
See, that's the thing, because everyone's different, and because there is no simple fix, it's really hard to answer that question. Obviously, I'm going to say fruits, number one, is going to, that is what we are biologically made to break down the easiest. However, there's no easy fix. I would say you need to detox your body, detox all that shit out. We have things layered in tissue, so it's not like I can say like, oh, eat these 5 foods. I don't subscribe to that kind of program, and I think that messaging is what confuses people and frankly discourages people, because they're like, I tried 10 different programs and I'm still not better. It's because there's no 7-day fix for this. If you have 35 years building shit in your body and have been dealing with anxiety, how the heck do you expect to get that out of there by simply still drinking your coffee but eating these 5 fruits I tell you to eat?
Wow. I think people don't understand that part. Is like they read all this content online, or they watch these videos and they see that and they're like, oh, they get hopeful, and they don't realize like, yeah, you got an uphill battle with this, but you can do it. It is possible.
And that fact right there is what is the block that I'm going against the most, I feel like. I had a girl in my DMs with a laundry list of conditions, bless her heart, and I'm telling her, oh, we can do this and that and the other. And she's like, oh, that sounds great. That's nice that you found your way in life. Hope to see you around. This poor girl has been on immunodepressants for 15 years and has been in the medical system merry-go-round her entire life. And then I'm telling her, hey, there's actually something you can do that's not that hard. And she's like, no way, they would have told me by now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's true. A lot of people have the appeal to authority with doctors, and I think I've had an episode where I had a bone to pick with doctors. But there's such a lack of good information around the subject, and you think that this person who goes to school for 10 years can actually help you. And what I'm seeing, in my experience, that they can't. They just prescribe medications and they don't actually go after the root causes of things, which you said it.
First and foremost, we need doctors. I do not want doctors to go anywhere. If you have an acute condition, they could literally save your life. If I'm in a car accident,
yes,
I'm going to go to a doctor.
Correct.
Their training, now this is not, Albert's not trying to pick on doctors here. Their training is medicine, literally medical field, right? So they are trained to treat symptoms, right, to make you feel better. The training isn't necessarily in healing and the knowledge of food, so, and its powers.
Yeah, so, okay, you're correct. And again, if I get into trouble, I definitely want a doctor. But when it comes to these conditions, I definitely don't want. I've never ever even thought to go to a doctor, and I would never think to go to a doctor for feeling anxiety. It's just something that I feel like I have to deal with. But I do notice the major difference, and that's the key message, I think, or the takeaway, is that most people don't understand how good you can feel because you've never felt that way. And so if you give your body a chance to start to heal by even just eating fruits and doing smoothies and stuff in the mornings for the first part of your day, just try that for a week or two and see how you feel. Obviously I'm not, I would recommend to do it the way you say, right? All the way. But some people can't do that. Some people are scared, so they have to edge their way in maybe.
Well, it depends on how bad you want it, right?
I think, the condition has to be bad enough for you to, want to do something about it.
Yeah, most of the people I am working with now are just sick and tired of being sick and tired, and that's where they're at. Unfortunately, it's always a situation where I've tried everything else. I guess I can try this. And then they're like, oh my God, my life has changed. But the beautiful thing is then their story ripple effects out into their world. And that is my bigger picture here, to help as many people as I can so that they in turn can help as many people as they can.
Yeah, I love watching what you're doing. I know what you're doing for me, and what you've done for me is I'm so grateful for it. My life is totally different. I'm not the same person from a year ago, even less on this detox. I've transformed a lot of things in my life in a very short period of time. I know I've had my hiccups, but I feel still like I want to stick to it and see this thing through. I really appreciate you being here with me and sharing your knowledge. How do people get a hold of you? How do people find you?
At Health and High Vibes on Instagram.
Okay. Yeah, I would definitely, you've heard me talk about her a lot on this podcast. She's definitely the right kind of person that isn't going to like preach to you, isn't going to tell you how you need to live. Like, I really appreciate your style of leading and teaching, is like you let people, you just listen to people and you make your suggestions, but you've never tried to force anything on me. And that's made me so much more open to what and how you teach. And what you've taught me has really worked for me. And I've seen it work for other people too. And so I just want to thank you for being here.
Props.
Yes, thank you. And so we went over a little bit, but we had to, because I had this beautiful guest here with me. And that's all we have for today. I hope you have a magical, beautiful day. Blessings. We're at the top of the mountain now. Sweet. Later.